Milan, Milan, Milan. I can actually see it in your face. It's a little hard to take when you figure out that you're not the chosen one. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Bad Boys Los Angeles. This is season 1, episode 7. Oh yes, oh yes. It is a hard pill to swallow when you find out that you really aren't the golden child. And that's what happened in this episode. That is what happened. This one was an emotional roller coaster for us as well as the castmates, because we got a whole new castmate out of nowhere. Very interesting. And I enjoyed the way it was done because I don't know him. I don't know him, and I don't know anything about him. So I had to really dig deep and say, well, how do I really feel about what is actually going on here? Reality TV. This is how reality TV is done. There are no golden children in reality TV. Today it's you, tomorrow it's someone else. The producers, when no honor amongst thieves, trust and believe when you hear there are thieves in the temple. Let's get to talking here. Okay, so this whole thing with Carry On and Milan, we're coming off of the crux of that. They were doing this little fight, and a lot of people had questions for me in my comments on the last episode. Do you think that Milan beat up Carry On? I said, from what the looks of it was, he got him. He got him. And then I said, we'll see when we go to the next episode. We'll see the conclusion of it. Okay, we see the conclusion of it. Yes, he beat Carry On's ass. That's just the way it is. Ain't no if, ain't no ands, ain't no buts. When you see it out all the way out, what was going on, they were both standing there in front of each other. And I like Carry On, but they were standing there in front of each other. And in this fight, he didn't sneak Carry On. He rushed Carry On, but he didn't sneak him. Y'all were both standing there saying, you hit me, you hit me. Y'all were literally squared up, as square as you all was going to get. And he rushed you and banged you and knocked you the fuck down. He knocked you down and all of that. Because if there hadn't been other forces, you'd have been on the ground, Carry On. You'd have been on the ground, and a little bit would have been on top of you. Because he rushed you and he was banging you and you were falling backwards. He would have been on top of you. If there had been no interference and no one tried to pull you all apart, y'all would have been on the ground and he would have been on top of you. It was, a mess. Now, Milan, I want you to go sit down and shut up because you talking crazy. Once they get them all separated out and then they calm everybody down, Milan sitting over there talking about, are you serious? All this fighting is annoying and it's breaking my heart. Girl, if you don't shut up, all this fighting is annoying and it's breaking your heart. You started it. You started it. You started it with Relly. You started it with Carry On. You started it. You started it. So how'd your heart get broken, sis? Stop it. Stop playing for the camera. It's getting old now. It's getting old. That's getting old. That's enough. But I didn't have to stop you. Natalie Nunn and crew did, didn't they? They stopped you, didn't they, boy? They stopped you. But we're going to get to it. Anyway, Carry On and Relly. Relly, you got a hell of a way of doing consoling and just your consoling. Child, your version of consoling ain't nothing but sneak reading, honey. That's all. Sneak reading. So you just gonna keep getting beat up? I said, what? Child, and Carry On talking crazy with his eyes dancing. Talking, I ain't get beat up. Yeah, baby, you got beat up. You didn't got beat up, child. You didn't got beat up. You didn't got banged on. You didn't got tossed around like an old rag doll. Yeah, you're. Yeah, there's something that's been compromised since we've been on here watching this for 7 episodes. The thing that's been compromised is your ass. They've been yanking, pulling, tagging, punching, and carrying on you this whole time. This whole time. And you talk about, I'm getting in their head. I'm getting in their head. So now you want us to believe that getting beat up, getting banged on, getting yanked and pulled on at will, because it's not, nobody even takes you serious. No one in the house is scared of you. Now they actually should be. They should be, because there's something going on. And they should be afraid to be laying around you sleeping. They really should be. They should be afraid of laying around you sleeping. But just standing straight up, both of us woke, and standing there, ain't nobody thinking about you, Carry On. They're not. They're really not. From the smallest one in the house to the largest one in the house. Ain't nobody giving a goddamn about Carry On. They're like, child, if he say anything to me, honey, I'm going to knock the shit out of him, honey. And that's just how they feel. If they wake up on the wrong side of the bed, today's his day, I'm going to knock the shit out of him. That's the way you've been treated since this thing started. Is it fair? Hell, this whole thing ain't fair. This bad boys. What is this, really? What is this? Y'all keep talking about a bag. What bag? Now, I was riding with this in the beginning, but 7 episodes in, I'm asking, what bag? What bag is it that we're getting to? Y'all, I mean, Moolah is advertising this brand of clothing that he keeps wearing. So there's some advertisement for him. And then he keeps talking about this show and a podcast that he has, that he done interview all these gay people, but all of a sudden you got all this issue about gay people. So I doubt that you'll be interviewing any more gay people. But, you know, so you're on there basically ruining your brand. So I see that. Then you got Milan. He's advertising pocket puss and dildos. But other than that, what bag are you all chasing? Y'all done been to 2 parties that have ended abruptly. The one, the baby kind of turned it out. And the second part was a fashion show where you all showed your asses in the beginning of the fashion show. So I could pretty much tell you, watching this, I wouldn't invite y'all to nothing that I did. Why would I want y'all at something that I do? So y'all can come turn my event out. If that's the bag you talking about, that ain't gonna be much of a bag. I don't see a lot of red carpet events for you all in your future, other than something being sponsored by Zeus. That's about it. But do I think I'm going to look up and see you on Bravo, or see you all on VH1, or see you all anywhere? Not from this show. Maybe something you do later on or out there in the world. But from this just seems like a bust. This was something that you did, and it was cool. You'll get cool points, and people will remember, people will remember that you did it. But as far, ain't no bag. Ain't no bag. Bag? What bag? A shopping bag. Not no Gucci bag. Not no Louis bag. A shopping bag, child. And a paper one at that. That's no tea. It's been entertaining, but what was it really all about other than just sitting watching y'all be a shitty mess? That's it. This is the show to watch you all be a train wreck. That's fine. But that's a brand killer, not a brand builder. But I'm just saying, whatever. I'm watching. You got my $5.99 a month. You got that. So if that's the bag you talking about, then by golly, you've got it. But other than that, E, VH1, MTV, BET. Anyhow, now I will say this. Back, let me get off my soapbox. But boom, bam, and I'm back, honey. Carry on. You're a funny ass with your silly self. You sitting over there, child. That damn Carry On was reading. Reading. Child, he called Malone 50 Cent in the gay club. I said, don't do him like that. Then called him Booty Clay. I said, Booty Clay? Booty Clay? Really? I said, okay. Then, when he was giving out the gifts, he gonna say, he passed it out. He passed it out, Dixon ass, and I'll pass. I said, oh. Said, y'all getting a carbon copy of some super sloppy. I said, oh! Baby, that thing was reading. Do you hear me? You gave Malone the business with a couple little doot. But I mean, he gave you a couple doot, honey, too. He was giving you, honey, how many lumps do you want, honey? But girl, you read them down, honey. You read them down. You gotta admit, Malone, he got you. He read your ass for filth. But that, it's okay. It's all right. And, you know, this whole hanging on to this whole thing of, I took up for him and I did the, okay. You took up for him when no one asked you. You also started trouble with him when no one asked. So now y'all are even. So you ain't got to cry that river no more. Y'all are even. You're even. You got it? Okay, let's move on. So here's what, and all of that, that took up half of the show. And then we move on. And they said, oh yeah, we got a new man. We're going to get back to the back. And Moolah, that's enough for all this. That's enough for all this. You had to get you some camera time. So you're going to go and gather everybody. That's your camera time? Because as we've noticed, you are the man of the house. But the first lady has strayed off, hasn't she, Moolah? Curtis ain't sticking up underneath Moolah so much anymore. Curtis has ventured off. Curtis is making friendships with the rest of the girls. And Moolah is now standing alone, and you don't have very much camera time, do you? So you see your plan of dominance and being the man of the house it's blown up in your face. So now you have to figure out a way to put yourself in front of the camera, and we can see these jogging suits you keep wearing, these t-shirts and these caps that you keep wearing. You got to figure out a reason to get yourself in front of the camera, which that ain't good, because we ain't look at you long. When you jumped out there trying to talk deep and tell people what to do, ain't nobody really paying no attention to you. Anyway, so they get in there, so we got a new cast member coming. And when they find out the cast member's in the driveway, here it is. It's Jonathan. Now this is when it got very interesting. Jonathan is a hairdresser. He's a celebrity hairstylist from Houston, Texas. I didn't know Jonathan. I don't know Jonathan. I don't know everything about Jonathan. I heard he's done Nicki's hair. He's done Megan Thee Stallion's hair. All of that. He really actually has it going on. And I'm like, cool. And then when he came in, I said, well, look at him, honey. Most beautiful black skin you want to see. His skin is gorgeous. I said, come on through here, sis. Beautiful, beautiful skin. Came through right away. Jonathan, you a mean girl. I picked up on it right away. He's very likable. He has a very likable quality to him, but there is just a tinge of a bitch in there. And I said, oh, I see you, honey. I said, he's going to be interesting. Again, hairdressers, child, I know how we are, honey. We, in the industry, we are snipey. We are cutthroat. And that's just the way, that's hairdresser stuff. So I seen it all over him, honey. All over him. He knows how to get what he wants, and he knows how to do it, and he knows when to push, and how hard to push. And he's comfortable with it. And I clocked it like that. From the time he was coming in the house, I said, ooh, ooh, okay. Now, this is the thing, though. This is the thing about this show. I don't know why Jonathan decided to do this. I really, really don't. And then I heard that Jonathan is young. Jonathan under 25 years old. That made sense. That made sense because it's fun. This is fun for him because he doesn't need it as a brand builder. It doesn't seem at all. This is just something fun for Jonathan, something to throw on his resume. Yeah, I did television and that's it. But I don't know how good in the long run this will be for him because it put him in a messy, nasty light. Because right coming in the door, the whole thing, well, he did one thing that was perfect. He came in and got Moolah all the way together. All the way together. So, bam, you picked up a whole bunch of people that didn't know you that will love you for that, if nothing else. That, if nothing else, he came in and laid it down. Who the hell are you? Trying to tell him he got to come out. Because we went through that mess for three weeks. See, if Jonathan would have been in the house when we first started and all the stuff would carry on and Curtis and Moolah, it would have been different if Jonathan would have been in the house. It would have definitely been different because that mouth would not have shut up and that went on like that. Moolah might have ended up fighting with Jonathan, which Moolah, I think, would have turned out a whole lot different. Don't you, man of the house? You and Jonathan would have been interesting. Much more interesting than you and Carry On. You'd have pulled that little move on her, and I don't think it would have went that way. But anyway, so right there, I was like, okay. Then there was some talk about an interview. Another person, another gay person that you know is gay and all of that. You had an interview with Jonathan, but you didn't really have an interview with Jonathan because he basically blew you off. Jonathan, Jonathan was rude. He was rude. He was rude. He was giving, girl, I don't even like those types of interviews, girl. Psh, get on, honey. That was what his tube was giving. And he was like, something was wrong with something. It was just an excuse. It was a lie. It didn't even sound right. I just didn't show up because I didn't feel like showing up. And who knows? It could have been the energy. He could have seen your clout chasingness. I just made that up. Clout chasingness. Whatever it was, Jonathan said to hell with you in your interview, and he didn't do your interview. And you was a little bit salty about it, and your face was twisted up like it always is. You better watch Moolah, because the time that you spent on the show, shit, your blood pressure might be up, because you've been just as angry and miserable the whole goddamn time. The whole goddamn time. You might need to check your blood pressure, sugar. But anyway, Jonathan blew your ass off and then didn't even give you a good explanation because basically you're nobody as far as that's what I got. Y'all put it on in the comments. Anybody else get that? In Jonathan's world, Moolah ain't shit. And coming into the house, that whole man in the house thing, I don't think that's going to work for him either. I don't think he really cares two shits about what you're talking about. Anyway, moving on. So he stuck up for Carry On with that whole little situation. I said, well, okay. And that's what he told me. He said, I don't tell nobody, oh, I'm gay. No, I'm bisexual. I'm Jonathan. Period. Period. And that's that. Now, after that is where poor Jonathan ended up with the bully edit. And this is the thing that I'm talking about. Now, Jonathan is in a business where people need to like Jonathan. People need to like Jonathan. You're a hairdresser, which means you are a service person. We service. People don't take shit from hairdressers. You know, you're not getting ready to really stand there and talk shit to Nikki's people. You're not really getting ready to talk shit to Megan's people. Now, if you work at a salon in the area, yeah, you tell them whatever you want. But celebrity stylists and celebrity hairdressers, I could never perform that job. Because there is an air of ass kissing that is required. And you see it. I see it all the time. You know, well, I've been around for a very long time, but when it comes to celebrity hairstylists and hairdressers, they take a lot. They get beat up a lot on their jobs. They do. Now, if the celebrity really likes you, and you could be treated very well, but just that realm, I never wanted to go that route because I knew there is an air of ass kissing that is necessary to be successful in that, because celebrities are just that. They're used to having their asses kissed. And it just, that's just never been my thing. Dressing celebrities, sewing for celebrities, mm-mm. There's an air of ass kissing for everybody. Designers, even designers. It'd be a big old designer dealing with a celebrity, depending on what that celebrity is. There, that ass kissing bar will be there. It just, I don't like it. I don't like it. But he has to keep up. There's an air of, okay, I can bend, I can work. I'm not going to give any problems. I'm not going to cause any problems. That kind of thing. This whole bully thing, that don't work for what Jonathan's business is. Who wants somebody that's bullying and agitating and being real confrontational? Don't nobody want that kind of person doing their hair. They don't. You think somebody want to sit there and be scared to tell them, no, I really don't want the ponytail that high, and you giving them it's gonna be that high? Ain't nobody, that don't work in his line of business. So that I feared for him. I was like, wow, I don't know about this one, Jonathan. I don't know about this as pertains to your brand. You know what I mean? But again, like I said, for building blocks for things to come later in his life and his career, and getting the experience of doing television and all that kind of stuff, I see it. And just the fun of it, I see it. But yeah, the actual the edit that they gave you for the show, because nobody could tell me anything different. Jonathan was brought in solely to knock Milan down 10 pegs. He came in, he knows what the assignment is. He came in directly in here for Milan. And baby, when I tell you, he gave Milan's ass the blues, honey. The blues. Come in, you start in right into about these rooms. I had to find a room. Like he was meeting the people and, hey girl, hey, and Eric, that's why I said people knew him and they have a respect level for him already. But he was jumped right into what his storyline was I'm gonna take Milan's room. Nobody can make me believe he didn't come in there with that assignment. Thanks to Zeus Network, Natalie Nunn, and the crew. He came for a specific reason. And you did a good job with what you were sent in for. He got it popping. And it knocked Milan down a few pegs. Milan started talking, baby, you was doing a whole lot of hashtag BP and PP, honey. A bunch of backpedaling and pussy popping, honey. Oh no, I don't think I'm the leader. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. When you stop thinking you was the leader, when Jonathan got there? When you see that skin in that jogging suit, that's when you stop being the leader. Because up until now, you were the leader of the house. And Moolah was the man of the house. But both y'all kind of quiet. Like I said, hashtag BP and PP. Explaining yourself. You ain't explained yourself to a goddamn soul until Jonathan came in there and you got to explaining yourself. Because he come in telling you he taking your room. I'm taking that room. That's the room I'm taking, period. Either we gonna share it. I mean, that was just nice, and he kind of just threw that in, and then it got thrown back. We gonna share it. He said, I ain't sharing no room. If I ain't screwing you, then I ain't sharing no room. I said, well, what kind of shit is that? I said, you watch that. That'll get you some Me Too time. You want some hashtag Me Too time, bitch? Cause that's what that type of shit will get you. If you let you stick him, he can stay in the room. That don't sound so nice. That sounds like that'll get you caught up in a little bit of a movement, honey. I don't think you want none of that. But it went from all that, then it was this whole thing, and then Relly agitating, instigating ass, hanging around, sticking around. all in the closet. They got this whole little thing. They in the closet together, and it's like we're waiting. Like, is this going to be a fight? Because they done told you, you know, Milan, he had to fight for the room, and he's like, well, who he fight for the room? God knows, it's Anthony, and Anthony and Jonathan are already friends. I said, oh shit. He's like, oh well, he definitely getting out the room. I was like, oh, it was so apparent that this was a setup. And it was a setup for Milan. And you could see Milan going through the whole, his wheels were spinning because I feel like Milan was like, I don't believe this shit. And feeling some type of way. And I would love to sit down and ask him, how did you feel in that moment about Natalie and about Zeus Network? In that moment when you know they sent that boy in there specifically for you, to bring drama to you, to really do your ass. How did that make you feel? Because I could see it all over his face. I could see it all over his face and in his demeanor, like, wow, being knocked down a few pegs. See, even the golden child will have a curveball thrown their way as pertains to reality TV. This is what reality TV actually looks like. The reality is the producers are always shit starters. The producers always talk out of both sides of their mouth. And if you go in not knowing and not understanding that, you ain't doing that but setting yourself up. And he knows it because he was on Love and Hip Hop. He was on Love and Hip Hop. But for some reason, he thought that his star power and Zeus being smaller they won't do it to be over there too, baby. That is reality TV. The reality is the producers keep the shit going. That's the reality. Get into it. And even no matter what role you play, if you're on the screen, oh, they'll double cross you too. And tonight, came in the form of a little beautiful chocolate man named Jonathan, honey. Jonathan came here to bring the noise, honey. I said, oh, well, welcome, Jonathan, honey. Jonathan came in there, went on and on, getting all in his face, talking that old shit. And I said, it ain't really a good look for Jonathan. You look like a bully. You look like a bully, but again, you understand the assignment. So it's cool. I said, all right. And also, for the rest of the record, the rest of y'all castmates down there, you all, I mean, I got it that you all like Jonathan. Like, y'all took a liking to Jonathan, or some of you already know Jonathan and like Jonathan, but you all were way too giddy, and way too happy that he was coming for Milan. Y'all saw it, and y'all acted, I'm like, I know, are y'all scared of Milan? Or y'all just because y'all just really accepted the fact that Milan was running y'all. Like, I never really took on. I mean, I saw it happening, but are you telling me that you all really accepted the fact that he was running y'all? Shame on y'all. Shame on y'all. And Dylan, shh, girl, you already been beat up. You know they'll somehow beat you up. So keep your comments to yourself, girl. Shut up, honey. Anyway, so we actually see they're having a party the next day. Having this cookout and whatever, and I was like, this is so weird. So the room situation didn't get solved. This is how I knew. I was like, Zeus is behind this shit. The producer's behind this. When Jonathan said, well, I'm gonna go ahead and leave, but we ain't done with this. We'll pick this back up. I'll be back. I'm gonna go stay at the hotel and we'll be back. What the hell? You gonna go stay at the hotel and then you gonna come back and commence to fuck with me about this room? That said, Natalie, Nine, and the producers all over it. And Milan knows it, child. But I would love to hear from his lips, honey. But he know. He know. They brought him in for you, sis. Just like a bed of roses, honey. Here's something nice for you. And as soon as you grab it, honey, the thorns scratch your hand up, honey. He was brought in here just for you. I said, ooh. So he leaves out. Last thing we see, getting set up for the party, honey. Milan does what he has. See, listen, you use what's in your arsenal. Remember, Milan is legendary in the ballroom scene. Milan has gay kids. He has gay kids. So what he did was got on the phone and called one of his gay kids, honey, Rio, and told him, I'm gonna need you to be over at the party. And he said it like he meant it. That was code word for he is fucking with me, and you need to come over here in case we got to get the throwing down. Because last night was a little bit much, and we might need to jump his ass. That was what it was code for. I said it. I said it. So Rio's going to be coming over. So you got a surprise for Jonathan. Now is when it's going to get interesting because now they sprung Jonathan on you. You're going to spring Rio on Jonathan. And then we're going to see how Jonathan's going to handle it. That's what's going to be interesting. Listen, I will catch you all next week. I know y'all got a lot to say. Leave it down there in the comments, honey. I'll be writing back and forth with y'all because we got a lot to talk about this week leading up to when Jonathan run into old Rio, honey. And this whole situation about this bedroom continues. See y'all later. Hit them comments, child. Let's start talking.